All right, y'all. Welcome to the Positivity Push. It's your host, Antonio Santoro. I've got my guest here, Cassandra, Elliott. And I want you guys, as you guys log in, I need y'all to share on your Facebook page of this broadcast. Allow people to be pushed into positivity this morning. Wake up and win with us. We're about to start this radio show. 103.5 FM WCOM. So I'm sharing right now. Hope you guys are doing well this morning. So it's a good day. It's a good day. Yep. Good morning, Michelle. Thank you for joining us. All right, good morning. So, as you guys know, again, share. This is going to be an incredible show. It's easy when you have an incredible guest like this one. So I need you guys to share, and then as we go through this show, I want you to ask questions, comment. We'll give you a shout out over the radio, all that stuff. It's going to be awesome. We're going to be talking about the difference between breakdown and breakthrough. Good morning, Michael. All right, we are getting ready to start. Share on your broadcast. Share on your Facebook. There's the intro. Good morning, positive people. This is your host of WCOM's The Positivity Push, Antonio Santoro, live in the hot seat on this June 16th, 2018. Welcome to the show. Sit back, relax, and be positive for the next hour. Live on 103.5 FM WCOM. Did you know that you can actually join us in the studio? All you have to do is go to facebook.com, type in The Positivity Push. Good morning, Terry Harris. Good morning, Terry Edwards. All right. Do you want to take these off real quick? Sure. Say hello to the people.
Hey, everybody. I'm so glad to be here with my brother, Antonio. He's an amazing gift to the body of Christ.
Oh, wow.
And I love him so much, and I'm glad for this opportunity. Your life is going to be changed today. I pray that you at least walk away with one nugget. The nugget of what is the difference between breakdown and breakthrough.
That's
it's
it.
a thin line. So many people are losing their lives, taking their lives.
Yeah.
But guess what? Everybody needs someone to listen.
Yes.
and to not feel invisible.
Mm-hmm.
And so this week I talked about that. Who's listening? And my question to you is, are you a listener or a fixer?
Yeah. We're going to talk about the difference of that.
Yeah.
What is a listener and what's a fixer, And can you be both, I mean, we're going to talk about that a little bit. Listen, we got a ton of things to talk about. When she drops stuff like this, I'm just pulling. I'm going to be writing down notes the whole show. So I'm just going to let her take over now. But it's going to be a great show. Thank you guys for waking up and winning with us, joining us. If you will, share this broadcast on your Facebook page. We want these numbers to skyrocket this morning. We want to push the positivity this morning, and it's going to be a great show. So thank y'all for joining us again. Good morning. By the way, comment throughout the show. Ask questions. And if something really does hit you, just type it in the screen, and I'd be glad to give you a shout out over the radio waves. So thank you guys again for joining us. All right. Good morning, Sophia. Good morning.
Hey, Sophia.
We got a great show. All right, here we go. It's 5 minutes. A change is going to come, and it's been a long time coming. You know why it's been a long time coming? Because I've had this show since February, and it's been a long time coming for my guest, Cassandra Elliott, to be in the studio with me. I am so excited to have my guest here this morning. But let's just jump right in. Happy June. It is almost halfway through the year, and I want to welcome all my listeners this bright Saturday morning on 103.5 over the airwaves for your dose of positivity. Thank you for joining me and my guests to the Positivity Push, as well as the Facebook page. Go to facebook.com, just type in The Positivity Push, and you can join us in the studio. While you're at it, visit thepositivitypush.com for a little bit more about your boy, Antonio Santoro, and the show. If this is your first time joining us, welcome to the Positivity Push, the most positive place at 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time in the corner of Chapel Hill and Carborough. This is your feel-good fix. And this is a show and a movement to inspire, encourage, and empower people through various interviews and uplifting music. So thank you guys again for joining us. Thank y'all for listening in, tuning in. It's going to be a great show. So the Positivity Push, I'm just going to jump in with my guest, wants to welcome a true powerhouse. When she walks in, she owns the room. And we're going to talk a little bit about influence here during the show. But she is a self-proclaimed joyologist. I mean, when you're around her, she is full of joy and pushes the joy. She's a hope dealer and a giant slayer. She's a survivor, a mentor, a speaker. My guest helps you eliminate excuses and discover who God has called you to be. She is the no excuses engineer, and her story of overcoming is so powerful. She's got such a great story that she's going to share this morning. She has that bounce back life. We talked last week with two guests about bouncing back. They were incarcerated for 6 years, and they bounced back, and now they have an organization that helps inmates transition and get an employment and get housing. And it was a powerful show last week, so y'all tune in for that on my website. But this right here is another bounce back queen. Much like my guest last week, she has daily motivational videos on her social media that provide impartation into the lives of others. I am so grateful for her to be in here. She's nationally known speaker, preacher, worship leader. Her DNA is truly a positivity pusher, and she has a firm understanding of what it means to break through instead of break down. She has lived it. She's been there, done that, and I'm honored to have this powerful overcomer and positivity pusher in the studio, Cassandra Elliott. Say hello to the people.
Good morning, everybody. I'm so glad to be here.
Oh my gosh.
Early in the morning at 8 a.m. Wide awake.
Wide awake. Listen, you're waking up and winning and making sure everybody does too as well, right?
Oh, yeah.
That's right. So I'm so grateful that she is here. We are going to jump in with this interview right after this next song. Katy Perry, rise. If you're down in the ashes, if you feel like you're down in the dumps this morning, I want you to rise up this morning and say, you know what? I'm better than my situation. I'm better than my circumstances, and I'm pushing into the positivity. Rise by Katy Perry.
I love that.
Good morning, good morning, good morning. I hope all is well. I need you guys to, first of all, welcome to the Positivity Push. It's time to wake up, not just survive, but thrive here on the Positivity Push with my guest, Cassandra Elliott. So it's a great show, learning what it means to break through instead of break down. And I want you guys to sit back, relax, comment, questions, like, and share this broadcast on your Facebook page. It's going to be a great show as we're jumping in. All right? She is. I know. I love it. So thank you guys again for joining us. I hope y'all had a great week. It's been an interesting week for me. If y'all care. Things are really, really good. I'm wearing my 828 shirt, and for those that don't know, 828 is all things work together for the good. All things work together for the good. Terry Harris, thank you for sharing. Thank you for sharing this broadcast. Jonna Alfred, thank you so much for joining us. But I'm wearing my 828 shirt is because all things truly do work together for the good. Every last thing, no matter what you're going through, no matter the situation, no matter the circumstance or the predicament, I want to encourage you and let you know that it's not going to last always. It's not going to last always. Milana Caruth says, hey PC, love you, Pastor Cassandra.
Hey baby, good morning. I love you.
We got Cassandra's fan club in the house. I'm loving this.
That's my baby girl.
Oh, that's awesome.
Hey y'all,
awesome.
hey Tammy, it's so fun.
That's awesome.
God, it's so good. It's going to be amazing, y'all.
Yeah.
It's going to be amazing.
Good stuff. So yeah, y'all. So like I was saying, I just want you to understand that trouble won't last always. You know, we've got to understand that all things truly do work together for the good. We have to stand on that promise. We have to understand what works for us and what serves us, and continue to push to that promise and stand on it. So that's really where we are this morning, y'all. That's where we are this morning. Loving the t-shirt. Thank you so much, Terry Harris. Let's see what you said. See more. Pastor C, order some. All right. Order some shirts. All right. So thank y'all again for joining us. If you've not done so, there's a little share button at the bottom of this video. I want you to share this broadcast on your Facebook. That means all of your friends can tune in with this powerhouse right here on the Positivity Push. And I want you guys to join us and just be inspired, encouraged, and empowered this morning. I think it was about last year. And what I love most about my guest is she just loves to flow. I mean, as a planner, as someone that's super organized, I mean, I had my pre-program call with her last night. I got these questions. I've got everything laid out. But one thing I love about her, she just lets things unfold and flows with it. And she never forces, she only flows. She never forces, she only flows. And we met through the social media streets. She was walking, I was walking, we just collided. Yeah. And I knew this lady of empowerment had to be on my show. I'm thrilled again that she's on here. I'm going to formally actually speak on her behalf in her incredible story and accomplishments. Pastor Cassandra Elliott, also known as the Purpose Pusher. my kind of girl, and giant slayer, is walking example of a fivefold ministry. A native of New York City, Elliott began playing music at a young age. This passion unfolded into accepting the call as a pastor of worship, teaching the Word of God and becoming an innovator and mentor to many. She is a survivor of kidney disease and breast cancer, and has used both of these testimonies as a vehicle to encourage others through the preached, taught, and imparting Word of God. In 2016, Elliott launched out into the world of Periscope, social media, launching Morning Manna, a time of real talk, inspiration, and coaching. Most recently, Elliott launched again into the arena of coaching with her debut of Elliott Consulting, which allows clients to come under her mentorship and guidance through various trainings, individual and group coaching internationally. Pastor Cassandra Elliott states, when we are doing the right thing with the right people in the right place, we will achieve what? The right results. And God constantly and consistently achieves that through her, my guest. While Pastor Elliott's ministry career has been a fulfilling one, she's no stranger to hardship. For 12 years, she lived with kidney disease, then battled breast cancer 7 years later. In both cases, she received supernatural healing by trusting in God and has been given a clean bill of health as of July 2014. Currently, she resides in Greensboro, North Carolina with her husband, Bryant Elliott, of 25 years. Pastor Elliott leaves her testimony in the words of Philippians 1:6, to those who are weathering storms and waiting on God. Remember that he who hath begun a good work in you will perform it until the day of Jesus Christ. I'm here with my guest, Cassandra Elliott, giving her a warm wake-up call. Welcome.
Everybody.
I'm so grateful that she's here. Thank you again for joining me again. Today we're talking about, I reached out to her earlier this week. I said, okay, listen, you have a wealth of knowledge, experience, and wisdom. And I'm like, I don't even know where to go with you. With some guests, you kind of know like what their niche is. With you, you're so expansive in just what you hold within you. I was like, you tell me. What's the topic?
I don't know if anybody's ever said that about me before, but I'm going to receive that.
Yeah,
I'm expansive.
Yeah, well, there you go. Yes, expansive. You're just full of so much wisdom and nuggets, and it's powerful stuff, power-packed, powerhouse. And I was just like, what are we going to talk about? What you want to talk about? And she told me the difference between breakdown and breakthrough. We're going to talk about that. Today's show is focusing on breaking through rather than breaking down. There is a fine line. And when I asked Cassandra this, she just wanted to touch on this. This was her response, and I'm excited for the viewers on the Positivity Push Facebook page, as well as those listening, to hear her story and how she's overcome breakdown to being a breakthrough experience. Cassandra, you have truly experienced the power of the bounce back and breakthrough. Tell us briefly about your story. Tell us a little bit about that.
Sure. 12 years of kidney disease. I walked into a room. In one moment, God shifted my life. Even doing 4 treatments a day, carrying my dialysis with me to church, leading worship, going into a room, connecting to a bag, disconnecting, going back on stage, leading worship, small frame. I was diagnosed with renal failure 2 years into my marriage. And I thank God for my husband, Bryant, who God created just for me. That loved me through it all. And so after those 12 years, I'll never forget it. You got to show up at the right time, at the right place. Bishop Neil C. Ellis was having a conference called Walking in Victory in Greensboro. I walked in, sat in the back. My husband said, baby, today is the day. I feel like God is going to do something for us. I showed up. I showed up. Bishop Morton was preaching about the men that took their friend on the roof and let him down in front of Jesus. Sometimes you got to have friends that will take you to God.
That's right.
Literally put you in the presence of God. And also, my husband said, baby, we need to sow a seed. So, he put out $100 bill. I was like, wait, you sure you want to do $100? He said, no, we got to sow the seed. And as I went to the front, they called me because I serve with Full Gospel. And I serve as international director for youth ministry for children and youth. And that night they prayed for me, Antonio. The night was over. I walked away with 3 kids.
What?
After 12 years, one moment, I walked away with 3 kidneys. And so As I go back to my seat, there's a young lady there crying. Her name is Ebony Miles. She came to the conference, quit her job, didn't even know why she was there. God will send you what you need on assignment, and you will collide in purpose, because when God is ordained and into your issue, everything will come together.
That's it.
I came back to the seat, she was crying, and she said, I want to give you a kidney.
Wow.
But guess what? I had a road experience. You know how they prayed for Peter to be released from jail?
Yeah.
And Peter's knocking on the door. And she opened the door, was like, that can't be him.
Right.
In the moment, because I've been waiting so long, I was like, God, is this really you? But I thank God that Ebony was an exact match.
Yes.
And in December of 2005, I walked into surgery, 6 hours of surgery. They took her kidney, gave it to me. And because of her and her obedience, I'm now walking in life.
There's so much in that story, but there's one thing I want to pull out that just kind of rang in me, and that was process. What a grueling process. You know, tell us what you learned about I know there's so much more. That's just the tip of the iceberg of your life. But tell us about that process. How did you endure that?
You know, it's amazing that you're asking me that, because I thought about that on my way here. Worship.
Okay.
I would sit at home and connect to a bag 4 times a day with the catheter in my belly.
Wow.
In front of my keyboard, Antonio. I would worship God. I would sing to him. And I simply wanted to share this. There was something that I learned in that time that no one can take away from me. I got to go know God so intimately when there was no audience, and he was my audience of one.
Audience of one.
He got to know my DNA of worship and could trust me to release it to other people, because the process was I spent time with him.
Wow, and it's really just spending time with that higher power, God. We know that there's a variety of faiths and even belief systems that are probably listening and tuning in right now. But even just taking time to sit, meditate, and pray, and just really taking a self-assessment of learning who you are and why you're here, that you're not here just by happenstance. There's a purpose for it and for your being. So showing up, you mentioned that in your story as well. Tell us the power of showing up.
Oh gosh. The power of showing up is just, and I'm going to talk about that because it just happened to me yesterday. So I was going to the post office to drop off a box for my dad, because my family's from New York. And I walked in, and the lady that was serving me, I spoke at a cancer banquet about 2 years ago. She recognized me, and I was telling her about where I'm going today. She's going to Rocky Mount. I'm going to Garner. She was like, are you going to speak? I said, how do you know I speak? She said, because you spoke and you blessed our lives. She said, I follow you on Facebook, and you encourage me. So I'm at the post office, okay? Then I get a phone call to come and pick up something that I purchased. The lady does not leave a voicemail because my voicemail is full. I apologize for that. She listened to my voicemail, and God begins to bless her through my voicemail. I walk into the store, and everybody's like, wait a minute. She just called you and wanted to know who you were. She is in the bathroom, but she said your voicemail blessed her. When you show up in the right place at the right time with the right people, you get the right results. You're never knowing whose lives you're touching because of what you're doing when you're walking in purpose. And she got a diagnosis of breast cancer a while ago, but now they're saying she has a brain tumor. And she said to me, you know what? I stood here and received the blessings from your voicemail when you didn't answer.
Wow.
Your light will shine sometimes greater than anything else if you just do what God has called you to do. A voicemail.
And you know what's so powerful about that is the power of our voice. She could have talked to you and you could have encouraged her, but just that voice. You don't, and we were talking about this before, you got to know who's in your ear. You got to know who's in your ear, what they're saying, and that voice. What that voice carries something. That voice carries victory, healing. That voice carries power and perseverance. That's what that voice carries. So I that's an incredible story. How can someone, just again, takes the foolish things. To confound the wise. A voicemail can really just change someone's life.
So I shared it on Facebook yesterday, right? People have been calling my phone. Voicemail.
Right.
And I'm gonna tell you. So somebody asked me this morning, what does a voicemail says? It says this: God is who He says He is, and God does what He said He's gonna do.
Wow, that's it.
That's it. So simple. God is who He says He is, and God does what he said he's going to do.
That's it. Yeah. Yeah. Powerful, powerful voice right there. Powerful voice. Lord have mercy. So good. You daily provide a dose of hope through your major social media influence. I mean, this one right here, when I talk about influence, and I told you when she walks into a room, she owns it. And influence is a whole nother topic. We could talk about the power of showing up and the influence that we all carry and what we're doing with that influence. But talk about hope. You know, what is hope to you? Is hope developed? Is hope something that we just automatically have and we have to tap into? And then where did you find your hope so you wouldn't break down?
So,
pause. I'm sorry. Let me. Did you break down? Because I'm just assuming you didn't. Did you have breakdown moments first, and then we'll get to hope?
Let me tell you about my breakdown moment.
Yeah.
The breakdown moment is when I told my husband, no more needles.
Okay.
I don't want to do any more. I'm tired.
Mm-hmm.
And I would balled up into a fetal position in my New York apartment.
Wow.
And I said, baby, no more. My husband literally wrapped me up in a blanket and took me to an emergency room. When I got there, I needed 2 blood transfusions because I didn't want any more injections, any more needles. And in that moment, I had reached a tolerance of dealing with this illness.
Mm-hmm.
But you got to have people around you that want you to live.
Yes. Yes.
And because of our covenant, he knew what was inside of me and that I was going to come out of this.
Yes.
That I was going to break through.
That's it.
And so in that breakdown moment, I don't have many.
Right.
But that was a moment where I had to have someone that loved me enough that could pick me up. Do you have someone that can pick you up?
Yeah.
Diligent in attaining the things that they believed. So in order to get what others have, you got to figure out what was their process of attaining their promise.
Yeah.
And so the hope is an assurance that it's going to happen. But when you look at others, if it happened for them, it can happen for me.
Yeah.
But I've got to do what they've done in order for me to attain the things that other people have.
That's right. You got to do what they've done to get what they get. And that's really so powerful. Hope really is that assurance.
It is.
It's the thing that just kind of nudges you, it just kind of pushes you a little bit. And so how did that contribute to your daily walk? Were there people that inspired you through that time?
Whew. There were people that believed in my healing.
Okay.
They believed that, Cassandra, every time you show up and play the keyboard and lead us into worship, that God sees your faith by you showing up.
Yeah.
Like that's why I said I'm the no excuse engineer. Because there were days when I could have said, I don't want to plug up to this bag. I don't want to do this dialysis. I don't want to do it. And I always realize, and we got to realize there's always someone worse off than you. You know what I was thinking about on the way here?
What's that?
The man that ministers that has no legs and no arms. There are people complaining about life, but God is using him to share a message.
That's it.
And he is less fortunate than us in reference to his ability to walk and to use his hands because he doesn't have it.
Right.
He has no excuses.
None.
That means we have no excuses.
That's it.
The very day that you wake up and you breathe and you're able to move and you're able to think on your own, we must not let excuses be the mantle that we wear.
Right.
But we must outrun, and declare that our excuses won't win.
That's it.
No excuses.
No excuses. You have that choice. You have the power. When you wake up, you have the power to choose between life and death, blessings and curses. What are you walking in? And it's the excuses that push us over to that place of dirty death. It's that I'm just gonna be lazy today and lethargic. But yet there's purpose inside you screaming to get out, to say, you know what, I'm this day was meant for me to make a difference in someone's life.
Every day. Every new day. And you therefore tear down the Philippians 4:13.
That's it.
I can do all things through Christ who gives me strength.
That's it.
And so if you know that you can, you got to tell excuses. I can, I will, and I must. Tell excuses. I can, I will, and I must. And you won't rule me. You won't run me. You won't overwhelm me. You won't overtake me. Today I make a choice that my excuses don't win.
Wow. The excuses aren't winning today, y'all.
Come on, y'all.
The excuses are not winning today. Let me ask you, Cassandra, if you could speak to your younger self, about your journey of breakthrough, if you knew what you know now, what would you tell yourself?
I would tell myself to believe in what God said and to really move what God said move. I delayed a lot of my movements.
What movements in particular?
Well, there were things that I wanted to do in music ministry early in my life.
Okay.
And I kind of held back because sometimes you think that people have to move with you. But sometimes God wants you to be what? A trailblazer.
That's right. That's it.
A trendsetter.
Yes.
And I didn't understand that God was calling me to be a trailblazer and a trendsetter. So I settled in and said, you know what? I'm not going to move. I'm going to wait.
Gotcha.
And I think that I was kind of, just, how can I say it? I missed moments because I didn't hear for myself.
Sure.
I heard for the whole,
Gotcha.
But I wasn't obedient in what God was saying for me.
Yeah. So really what you would tell yourself is to no excuses, right? And just to continue to push, right?
Yeah.
That's powerful right there. That's powerful. Y'all, we're already setting this morning on fire. This is Antonio Santoro with the Positivity Push and my guest, Cassandra Elliott. We're talking about the difference between breakdown and breakthrough and how excuses have no power. They will not win. I can, I will, and I must. That's what you got to tell your excuses today. If you're sitting back drinking a cup of coffee or still laying in the bed watching the Facebook page right now, I want to just encourage you to get up and show up and shine. She talked about showing up. If you just are present and there. Let me tell you, and I'm going to go ahead and touch on this because I keep on hearing this in my mind, influence. We all have it. What are we doing with it? And when you show up, just like Cassandra is owning the studio right now, when you show up, there's that influence, that mantle, that thing that's on you that people see you, right? People see you when you show up, but are you shining when you show up? Are you shining when you show up? And I want to encourage you, get up out of bed. I want you to put the All right. I can, I will, I must. Angela Robinson Woods. Listen, y'all. This has been an incredible show so far. We're about halfway through. And my guest, Cassandra Elliott, here this morning, dropping powerful principles of how she's overcome. And some of those, let's talk about those. Some of those principles are showing up. And really allowing, yourself to gird yourself up and say, I'm going to win this, and having people in your life that believe in you and for you really is that hope that really pushes you, right? So powerful.
Everybody needs somebody.
Yeah.
You can't do life alone. What the enemy wants to do is isolate you and feel like everybody's against you, and that's not true.
Yeah.
There are people that really want you to win, and I'm one of them. I want you to win. Antonio wants you to win. And you can overcome anything that's been a repeat offender. There are some things in our lives that consistently are repeat offenders. They keep showing up. Why? Because you give it access.
What you allow, you empower.
What you allow, you empower. And guess what? What you don't acknowledge, you can't fix.
Oh my gosh. See? Talk about that. What you don't acknowledge, you can't fix.
What you don't acknowledge, you can't fix. If you don't acknowledge that you're lazy, you can't fix laziness. if you don't acknowledge that you are not a positive person, you can't fix it.
Yeah.
If you don't acknowledge that you're afraid all the time and that you lack hope in that, you keep saying things like this, my life will always be. No. Shift your mouth, you shift your life.
That's it.
It's what you say. You shall have what you say.
That's
If
it.
you keep on saying that thing, you'll have it. So just as you say the wrong things, you get the wrong things. Imagine saying the right stuff all the time.
That's it.
Despite what you see. When I say the just shall live by faith, we walk by faith and not by sight. Even though your situation may not be what you want right now, when you speak what it should be and what it could be,
Yes.
it literally will shift your atmosphere, your altitude, and your attitude.
That's right.
And you begin to move into a different place.
Yeah.
Positivity.
Yep.
You begin to move in positivity out of negativity. I'm excited about that.
That's it. And it's really just positive affirmations. Waking up, what are you saying to yourself and into the day? Again, the power of the voice. I mean, you got a woman calling Cassandra, didn't even leave a voicemail, but just was ministered to just by her voicemail message. Do you hear that? There is a voice that we all have, and what we hold with that voice. There's something in that voice, and I'm telling you, when you speak into your day, when you speak into your life, and in and over your life, it does change your altitude and attitude. It does. It's powerful stuff, y'all. So yes, shift your mouth, shift your life. That's right, Terry. So listen, thank you guys for joining us this morning. Antonio Santoro, if this is your first time joining us, thank y'all for joining us. Like the page, comment throughout the week. Don't just come on Saturday mornings. Let's interact. Let's make this a great community of positivity pushers. And also share this broadcast. If you've not done so already, there's a share button down at the bottom. Just click share and allow people to join us this morning. So thank you guys for joining us. Thank you, Brandy, for joining us. Thank you for the hearts and the likes, all that stuff. I appreciate you all. Yeah.
This voice right here is a voice of positivity and a push. And I've known this is amazing. I love something you said. We collided on them.
Yeah.
Social media Periscope streets.
That's right.
He would come into my Periscope, I would come into his, and we would just encourage each other, share each other. And I'm telling you, God has a way of connecting you with the right people at the right time for the right reasons. Who would know that he would be here now and I'm here now, and that opportunity has come because of obedience and just showing up.
That's it, showing up. And I love that as well, the connection that we made. Cleoma Blunt is in the house. She was my guest last week.
Hi.
And Cleoma has an incredible story. If you have not watched it, let me tell y'all, Cleoma and Sandra's broadcast last week was so, I mean, in the middle of the interview, about this time, I had to catch myself.
Wow.
Because their story was remarkable. So I need you guys to also, good seeing you again, I need y'all to go watch that on the positivitypush.com. Watch that broadcast as well.
Please watch it.
It's powerful stuff. Cleoma says, hey, Miss Lady.
God bless you.
Yes, honored to see this interview. Get your glory, God. That's right. Listen, we're showing up, shining this morning for him. That's it. Because when you have him in everything you do, you nothing but success.
Yeah.
Nothing but success.
Yeah.
So that is that. All right. Yes. So we're gonna join Cassandra again right after this song with the second segment of this thing. Rocco, say hello to the people.
That's Rocco.
This is Rocco, y'all.
I hope all of you are doing well and listening to the words of Antonio
And Cassandra.
And Cassandra.
She's killing it.
of course I hope you have a good weekend, and thank you for letting me say these words.
Yes, doesn't he have an incredible radio voice?
I love his voice.
Right.
Come on, you better use that voice.
He's been on radio for 35 plus years, right?
Well, on and off for quite a
You hear that bass in his bottom?
Right.
That bottom right there.
That's
I'm gonna get
Rocco.
some bottom in my voice.
Well, there you go.
How you doing?
Right.
Yeah, good morning, everybody.
Welcome to the Positivity.
Welcome.
Right. He's been on the radio for years. He's got a show right after mine called Music Hall with Rocco. Go ahead.
In fact, Antonio, this morning
Yeah.
is going to be my 700th music
All right.
show here at WCOM.
Longevity.
Longevity.
is key. Longevity and consistency is key.
That's it. And let me tell you, he doesn't miss a show. He doesn't miss it, except on the last day of every month. He does take a quick break. But 700 shows, y'all. I mean, I was trained by him, legend. And then when they asked me like, where do you want your show? Like, you know, you have all these slots open. I was like, right before Rocco. Like, I want him to be here every Saturday morning with me, and it's awesome. Yeah, so he's got they're saying you have very smooth voice.
Come on, Smooth.
Thank you.
And they
Come on, Smooth voice.
They said congratulations. They say
Thank you very much.
See, there you go.
And so humble.
So humble, right? Yes, powerful. So
We're speaking longevity over Antonio.
hey, I receive it. And you know what? Rocco was saying this a couple months ago. You know, hopefully one of these major radio stations will just listen one morning and say, you know what, I need this on my radio station. So because, you know, there's some shows that are syndicated around the world, around the nation here, from this small little studio.
Wow.
So
let's go ahead and
yeah.
agree with Antonio for national syndication.
Yes.
Come on, somebody. What you agree for somebody else can happen for you. When you celebrate somebody else's success,
Yeah.
you can believe that something good is going to happen for you.
Yeah, and that's that's so true. That's my goal. I just want to encourage and empower and inspire people. I hope that this hour allows you to just wake up and win, and I want you to feel good about your day and about yourself, because insecurity and the mess of this world, it's an epidemic. You know, so many people are insecure with their life, but I want you to wake up and be empowered. All right, longevity and consistency. Y'all, we're about to join Cassandra again right after this in about 10 seconds. And that was Freedom Hymn by Austin French. It's a powerful song right after Fantasia and Ty Tribbett's I Made It.
Yeah.
And that's what we're doing. We're making it this morning. We're showing up, shining, and showing out this morning on the Positivity Push. I'm Antonio Santoro, live on 103.5 FM WCOM. Join us on the Facebook page of The Positivity Push or thepositivitypush.com. If you want to sponsor this show,
In the travel, and it got larger and larger, and finally I had to go to the doctor. They misdiagnosed me with an infection. And when I finally came back, she said, Mrs. Elliott, I'm sorry, we misdiagnosed you. We need to do a biopsy. Bryant was literally about 300 feet away. I had no chance to go to him and say, baby, what do I do? The doctor says, I need to do it right now. And within 24 hours, you will have your diagnosis. The doctor didn't give me my diagnosis. The lady walked in with an envelope and said, here, Miss Elliott. I thought it was what it was going to be. She said, I'm sorry to tell you this cancer. She walks out the room and tells me where to go the next day. I'm in my pink robe. I bury my head in my husband's chest and I scream. He holds on to me. I put my clothes back on, and as I'm walking out of the office, I fix my face. I dry my eyes because there were people waiting for answers as I walk through.
Wow.
I get in the elevator, get in the car, I break down again. I call my apostle and I say, Apostle, they said it's breast cancer. Didn't even know it was his birthday. I was so overwhelmed. He said, Cassandra, I don't mean no harm. He said, but when do you want it to be over? Now, wait a minute. Hold on one second. Now, you would expect somebody to be like, baby.
Right.
You got to have the right people in your life.
That's right.
That can pick you up in the midst of your breakdown.
That's it.
And literally pick you up and say, wait a minute. He's a God that did it before.
Right.
He's a God that can do it again.
Right.
He said, when do you want it to be over? He said, I'm on the phone crying. He said, wait. When he had more faith in the moment for me.
Yes.
I can't hear nobody today.
Right.
And I said, I wanted to be over December. I did 6 full chops. The most hardest chemotherapy. Lost my hair.
Wow.
I mean, just so much going on. And on December the 13th, I wasn't even going to do the gathering that year. Because I said, I can't do it.
Sure.
But God said, you know what? Do something called healing worship. And people came with cancer, mental issues, emotional issues, broken families. And we worshiped our way into our miracle. Wow. Sometimes you got to have people in your life that can push you into your breakthrough.
That's it.
While you're in the midst of your breakdown.
That's it. Because that was definitely a breakdown moment.
Oh my God. I done come through. And you know what? I done 12 years of kidney dialysis. I was in my 8th year of my kidney transplant and cancer shows up. People were just like, wait a minute, hold up. But there are people that know the God you know.
Yes.
And sometimes have to remind you of what God has already done. I want to share this with somebody.
Yeah.
Rehearse your victories. Rehearse your overcoming.
Yeah.
Don't keep rehearsing all the wrong things. But if you remind yourself of what God did already, He's the same God that did it before. He's the same God that can do it again.
And you know what I do sometimes when I'm feeling down and out, when I'm feeling like, I'm just, my hope is down. I'm not feeling it. I write a resume of God.
Ooh.
That's what I do. God, what have you done? Let me just look at the resume. Just check the resume. And see how He's delivered every job that He's worked. And it's so powerful. So you're exactly right when you say, just remember if He's done it before.
And sometimes when your worship gets a little low, worship God on a memory.
That's it.
Lift your hands and say, God, I'm worshiping you because you did this.
Yeah.
And sometimes when you can't even list it, I worship you just because of who you are.
That's it.
It's got to be enough.
Oh my gosh, it's more than enough. It's more than enough because He is so much more than what we can even comprehend.
Oh my God.
And so that's what I'm saying is again, I love that. Rehearse your victories and then worship on a memory. You can just look back over just the past 24 hours. Hello, you got breath in your lungs. You're breathing. And just think about how
you remember
the
that
gratitude.
Song? It's your breath.
Yes.
In my lungs.
Yes. I love it. And so that's it, you guys. That's it. It's really the breath in our lungs that just that just allows us to be so grateful. That's it. Gratitude. Let me talk about gratitude for a second because that just kind of came up. The gratitude. How has your journey contributed to your gratitude?
Oh God.
How is your life and experiences and the memories and the resume of God, how has that contributed to your gratitude?
Are you ready? I lived with what people died with. How about this? The type of breast cancer that I had came from the medication. It was called lymphoma. How about this? It was fatal. And I didn't know that it was a fatal until I was through it. I didn't know that it was fatal.
Right. You don't know what you got. Oh my gosh.
And let me tell you something. I want to speak to you guys about how in the midst of it you got to know who to call and what to do.
Yes.
You don't always worship God in the good times, but you worship God in the bad times as well.
Yeah.
And so I'm grateful that when I got the diagnosis, what I did was I called 25 people to my house. And I said, I don't want you to cry for me.
That's it.
I want you to worship with me and believe with me. And literally we sang, you are my strength, strength like no other.
Yes.
Strength like no other reaches to me.
Yes.
I needed people that could come around me and strengthen me, not be sorry for me, because he's the God of all flesh. And literally in that moment. And so I'm grateful because he let me live and let me live to testify of his goodness.
That's it.
And he let me live for a reason. So I'm here to tell my testimony. And guess what? I refuse to be silent. Because when I'm silent, my story won't give God glory.
That's it right there. We've talked so much about on the positivity push. We've talked about our scars have stories.
Ooh.
Our scars have stories. And if you don't tell it, your scars will. Your scars are going to speak. And so here's the thing. That's why we have them. That's why we have them. We have them to empower others, inspire others. Your story is meant for not you, but for others.
Yeah.
That's why I had to have you on, because again, not only is she a powerhouse and a prolific worshiper and speaker, but yet she has a story she's been through. So, Lord have mercy. When life hits us, you've talked so much about strategies, having a support system, having people that can speak into your life, rehearsing the victories, knowing that you can go back and revert back to the positive hills in your life, mountaintop moments. When life hits us, what strategies provide that breakthrough?
You always got to have a river from which to drink.
Okay.
And something we talked about the other day was this. You don't give from your cup. You always give from your overflow, from your saucer. You got to find a way to refuel, reignite, to revive, and to be refreshed. And so I have mentors in my life that even when I'm on the mountaintop, I go back and check in to make sure that I'm on the right path. Because sometimes the enemy of our lives will isolate us and make us feel that we don't have the support system. Everybody needs somebody. And in the recent wake of all of these suicides, that's why I did the talk I did the other day. Is anyone listening to you? Who's listening? There's a difference between listening and fixing.
Yeah. Talk about that.
Sometimes you just need somebody to listen. And if you need someone to listen to you because you're feeling invisible or no one I can't really tell you my pain, here's the key. Whenever you need someone to listen and not fix and say, I just need you to listen. For those of us who have been called to be listeners, all we need to do is listen and not fix. At the end of the conversation, say, how may I serve you? Is there anything else I can do?
Yes.
And if they say something like this, I just wanted you to listen. I don't need any advice.
Right.
I don't need prayer. I don't need a scripture. I just needed someone to hear me.
Yes.
I believe that if those people whose lives were taken, they took their own lives too soon, if people would have just listened beyond what they saw, their lives would be changed.
Yeah, and there's so much power in that, just sitting still and listening. People are listening to your story. People are listening to us right now, and just allowing us to speak into your lives, and then having somebody for you to just speak to, not asking for anything, just to listen. Power in that. As we wrap up, I want you to, again, we talked about your social media presence. Your personal presence alone is massive. What I love is that you use your influence for good. You have a community called Teach Me, Grow Me. Yeah. So talk a little bit about Teach Me, Grow Me, and then I want you to plug yourself away. Tell us, how can people get in touch with you? I'm going to post everything on the Facebook page as well on how to get in touch with her, to book her for speaking engagements and worship conferences, whatever you would like. She's got the goods. So I'll post that on the Facebook page. But tell us about Teach Me, Grow Me. How can people get involved in the community, and plug yourself away?
Sure. Teach Me, Grow Me is a community of wisdom. We are an information age, and sometimes we have a lot of information, but it's just information without application. When you have information with application, that application becomes wisdom. That wisdom affects everything connected to you, your family, your community, your job, your coworkers. And so in this community, I take information, I teach people how to apply it, and it becomes wisdom that literally impacts their everyday life, their moments, and that's important to me. So it's to join the group is bit.ly/join Teach Me, Grow Me. And I would love to have you, because everybody needs community.
Yes.
We can't do life alone.
No, you can't. You cannot. And that's why, again, the community allows us to pull from each other. We're like puzzle pieces, right? We can just,
every joint supplies.
that's it. That's it right there. That's it. And I'm telling you, this Teach Me, Grow Me, people are, it's not just her coaching. It's really not just it's not her show. It's not just her. It really is allowing a community to partner and connect. There have been people in the community that I've connected with that we've actually connected and inspired each other. It's just a platform. So I'm going to post that link, bit.ly /
Join Teach Me Grow Me, all lowercase.
Okay, join Teach Me Grow Me. I'm going to put that on the Facebook page, as well as any sort of how can they get in touch with you, Cassandra Elliott?
www.cassandraelliott.com.
Okay.
I'm on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter as the No Excuse Engineer.
That's it, y'all. That's it. Listen, we've got a few more minutes before we wrap up. I'm going to end with this positive PowerPoint. We all have that ability to break through. We all have that ability to break through. We have that. I know you did. I remember it was months ago. You did a month about having a bounce back ability, the BBA. You talked about that, and that just set me on fire. And I took that, stole it a little bit, and I'm definitely giving her credit live on air.
The
right
three
now.
BBAs: anointing, ability, and it's one more: anointing, ability, and something else. But we all have the ability to bounce back.
Yes.
There's an anointing on a bounce back. No matter how low you go, you can always rise again.
Yes, and that's really it. You're not your mistakes.
Oh, I got it.
Yeah, what's that?
Ability, anointing, and authority.
Authority. That's it, y'all. We got that. So you have that bounce back ability. You have that ability to break through. You're set. Let me tell you. You said this last night on the pre-program call, and I wrote it down earlier this week on Monday when I created this program for the show. Your setback is your setup. And she told me last night, because I was telling her about a situation, and she said, it's a setup. It's a setup. So thank you for the confirming word.
You're so welcome.
Tell us a positive PowerPoint that people can take away.
No matter how low you go, you can always rise again. No matter what it looks like, your future looks brighter than where you are right now.
Yeah.
You're somewhere in your future looking better than you do right now.
Yes. We're going to end with The Comeback by Danny Goki. You've got a comeback within you, right?
So
you're coming back. You're coming back stronger than ever before. The Comeback by Danny Goki, and we're going to wrap this thing up. All right. So we are... Y'all, I love that. Yes, BBA, bounce back ability, that bounce back authority. Y'all, it's so good. Listen, we're gonna. I'm not even gonna play the full song. We're gonna wrap this thing up. Y'all, thank y'all for joining us this morning. Didn't this fly by?
It did.
It flew by.
It was so much fun, though.
It was a blast. And so I'm gonna have her again because we touched the tip of the iceberg with this one right here. She's so, like I said, expansive in her knowledge. Yeah, we got listeners on the radio just going up. It's great. It's awesome. So, listen, y'all. Please know that when you're low, when you're down and out, you're not staying there. You're not staying there. This is your time of comeback, bounce back, and breakthrough. I want you to break through that breakdown moment. And hear me when I say it's a moment. Just but a light. Affliction. That's
light affliction is but for a moment.
That's it.
But the glory.
Come on. It's just a moment, y'all. It's just a moment. My mom says, great show. Great program, Brother Antonio and Pastor C. Thank you both. You're welcome, Terry Harris. If you guys listen, as we wrap up, like this page, and then share this broadcast before we go off. We're about to wrap up right now. Okay, y'all? Rocco, you ready?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that was it, y'all. Yes, we're gonna wrap this up. Let me grab this camera and then we're gonna say bye to the people. All right. Let me get out.